Hey there, race fans. Last Monday, we had legendary drag racer Don the Snake Prudhomme on the show. Here's part two of that interview. It took you 2 years to do this book with Alana Share. You know, there are other
Mm-hmm.
books about your life, but this one really is your first full biography. The book tackles a lot of the ups and downs of your career, including actually, and maybe people didn't know about your dyslexia or even basically
Hmm.
overcoming racism in the sport. You didn't have it
Hmm.
super easy growing up. You worked from nothing. And the process of doing this book, did a lot of those memories resurface for you? And do you have a different perspective on your life now?
Yeah, it was really amazing doing the book. It took us about 2 years, and I wouldn't have done this book without Ilana. She was the one that encouraged me to do it and looked after me. You know, that to do a book and have someone write a book about you, you've got to be pretty close to that person because you can get going down the wrong road. And I think we put everything down exactly the way my life happened and the way things started for me as a young kid and the problems I had in school and the dyslexia and all that was a tough thing, especially back in those days when people never heard of dyslexia. But it's something I fought through. But I was just thrilled with the job she did on the book, and I'm real proud of the book. Thank you.
So many photos, and I mean, the book weighs a little bit over 2 pounds. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
a beautifully done book. Not only the way that it's
yeah,
written, but also all the photographs of your
yeah.
career. And I know you guys were working on that even during the pandemic, working on all the captions and things to really try to bring
Exactly.
those moments back to life. So really, it translates very well in the book.
Yeah, and it's nice that I mean, the people that have read the book. I mean, I do get a lot of nice comments and letters and stuff about the book because I think someplace in that book it can help a young fella coming up and not sure exactly what he wants to do in life or not sure what he's going to amount to. I didn't think I was going to amount to much because of my education, but here I found this niche, this drag racing, and there was just trophies at the time. There was no money, and I'm hoping that it'll reach some young fellow, some young girl that is coming up and is struggling with something, and especially in school. I hope this book will help them and let them know that there is hope out there, and there are things that you can get into that you're not even maybe thinking of in today, but tomorrow you might run into that certain thing that will drive you and you'll get a hold of and you'll make a living doing it.
Yeah, and then there's so many stories too in the book. I mean, so many
Yeah.
people that are interviewed in these sidebars and the way that it's just collected. And, you know, I also feel for those at home, the book is very much a love story. I mean, you met your wife, Lynn, in high school. I mean, how much has she been a
Yeah.
factor in your success?
Well, she was everything for my success. Yeah, I met her in junior high school actually, and when I had to ask her parents as time went on, I was a little older. I was 21. Ask her parents for her hand in marriage. They didn't think I was going to amount to much, you know. And I could tell her dad was a little just, you know, wasn't real happy with me asking her to marry her or marrying her daughter off to me. So, but it all ended up well. They ended up being real proud of me, and my wife is, and I'm proud of her. And we did it as a team together, building this sport of drag racing up. And she was right there and still is, along with my daughter, Donna.
Yeah, I think it's a great segue too there because I definitely wanted to give a shout out to Donna. And the book even, you know,
Oh, yeah.
basically gives your fans, I mean, she helped connect us, of course. And, you know, the book
Mm-hmm.
basically gives your fans so much of that part of your life that is your life outside of racing. I mean, even a note about how Donna got her name from a Richie Valens song as opposed to,
Yeah.
you know, named, of course, after you. So some really cool factoids about you and your life in the book.
Yeah. Well, I think we captured it pretty good. Ilana did a great job. And yeah, that's exactly how Donna got her name. It's the Richie Valens. Some of your viewers might be a little young and to remember that name, but he was quite something in the 50s. He was a big name, and
The
he had a
Mamba.
song out. He had a song out, Donna. And I happened to get in the car, leaving the hospital after Donna was born. I was going running off to another race in Detroit, and so this song came on, Donna, and I thought that's perfect. So that's how Nada got her name, is the Richie Valens.
That is perfect. And speaking of
Yeah,
perfect too, Don, I mean, a big turning point in your career basically is your rivalry and your friendship with Tom, the mongoose
yeah,
Ewing. You know, you said in the book as well in 2018 when he passes that a piece of you died with him. What do you miss
yeah.
most about Tom?
Well, I miss him every day. You know, we would talk probably every day or every other day at least about something he'd have going, or just we were just really close. He was like my brother to me, and I miss him. When he passed away, yeah, man, I didn't even feel like I wanted to be called the Snake anymore, because without the mongoose, and the Snake, it was just this team, and he's the one, and folks can read that in the book. He's the one that came up with the idea of going to Mattel Toy Company and talking to them about a sponsorship. And I was a guy saying, what would they want with a couple of drag racers? But lo and behold, he went in there and they thought it was a great idea. So we got we're still getting checks from Hot Wheels. I mean, we're still connected with Hot Wheels. They're still coming out with different models and so on. It's Snake and the Mongoose.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very interesting pairing, of course, because you two are like the
Mhm.
odd couple. You know, he's all
Yeah,
about promotion and, the pairing of the two of you together. I think his history, as you mentioned, with Mattel and Hot Wheels. And it's funny because our co-producer who's on with us now, Chris Busateri, I mentioned him. I happen to drive a souped up Dodge Challenger, and I was going through a
cool.
box of toys here in the house. And thank God,
Yeah.
I guess, that mom keeps everything, right? This is one of my very first, Mattel cars, and it looks very much
Oh,
like your car. I looked at the
uh-huh.
bottom of it, and it actually dates back, if you can imagine this, to 1975. And I started thinking
Yeah.
to myself how, even as a little kid, the
Mhm.
impact that these little toy cars have on you, because as my life progressed, as I got older, all I could think about was fast cars, hot rods, and how much I wanted to basically live my childhood out and adult life by getting, basically real life versions of these toys that I had as a kid. And I'm sure that's all thanks to you and the mongoose.
Well, I'd like to think we had a little something to do with it, but we came along. It's just the perfect time in racing, when the performance cars and the muscle cars are out in the '60s and the late '50s, and so it was a perfect timing for Mattel and for them to make these little models like you have there, and for the kids to have them. And I mean, every day someone comes up. I was at the Long Beach Grand Prix, and people come up to me and say, "Hey, I bought your Hot Wheel cars, and I still have my Snake car, and it was faster than the Mongoose." And that, so I still get that, and it's a thrill. I never get tired of hearing that.
That's awesome. I mean, my brother played with
Yeah,
them too. We both had them, so that's
yeah,
a big
yeah.
impact on our lives. In 2013, the movie comes out, Snake and Mongoose. It becomes a hit. I think it
Mhm.
was so well done, so very accurate in my opinion, and even Jesse Williams. I mean, he looks just like you. What was the experience
Yeah.
of having your life on the big screen?
Well, it was amazing, especially when I met Jesse for the first time. I thought, man, are you a kin of mine or something? I mean, he was a dead ringer, it's the way I used to look back in the day, but it was amazing meeting him, and he did a great job in the movie. So I was really really pleased with the way he represented it. What he did, his acting was over the top. And for those folks that have ever watched Grey's Anatomy, he's one of the big leads on Grey's Anatomy, Jesse Williams. And like I say, he did a hell of a job in the movie.
I loved it. And Don, it's a super movie. This is a super book. Don the Snake
What?
Prudhomme, My Life Beyond the 1320 from Car Tech Books is available through Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Don's website at SnakeRacing.com, and of course, CarTechBooks.com. Pick up a copy to read more of this hero of horsepower. Thanks so much, Don. Keep living life a quarter mile at a time.
Amen, brother. Thank you, Bobby.